5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. The only thing we have to fear is
Mile 18.
This is Endurance Nation.
Hey, how's it going? Coach Patrick here. I am your host for the Endurance Nation podcast, where every week we sit down and break down endurance training and racing according to our 4 key values of consistency, community, camaraderie, and competition. Every episode bases on a different topic, but of course each week we try and bring in something different, not only to keep you informed, but also to make you aware of all the different options that exist out there for you to be successful as an endurance athlete. Whoa, bet you didn't see that one coming. Hopefully you didn't spill your coffee on yourself. So that's right, it is Brand of the Month. Every month we're on a project now to sit down and talk to a different brand, different aspect of endurance sports, whether it's clothing, gearing, nutrition, technology, even events. We're going to be talking to sponsors to learn more about the different parts of the puzzle that make endurance sports and endurance athletes just like you tick. So enjoy this behind the scenes look at a new brand, and we'll be back next month with another one. Give us your feedback, what you like, what you don't, over at facebook.com/Endurance Nation.
Endurance Nation.
Hey now, Coach Patrick here, Endurance Nation, back with another question of the week. This week, I'm talking to you about transitions. Nope, not race day transitions, not T1, T2. I'm talking about workout transitions during the week, on the weekends. How do you make the most of the time? The challenge here, the question is, I'm having a lot of time struggling moving from swim to bike and bike to run in my workout transitions. I lose a lot of time. Is there a way to speed this up or improve this so that I'm not only more race-like, but I don't lose all that time on the weekends or during the weekday when I've got these workouts? And the answer is yes, 100% yes. But first, before we dive into it, we just need to take a step back and understand that you just don't have to practice the transitions all the time. Like, transitions are important and they're low-hanging fruit, but there's ways to make your transition easier. And I'll talk about those in another episode for you, that don't involve speed and don't involve practicing all the time. In many cases, all we're doing is placing our competency in each of the different disciplines, swim, bike, and run, and improving each of those. We don't have to make swim bike be really fast or bike run be really fast. Of course, if you're competing at like the Olympic level or super high competitive level, then transitions matter. And a few seconds can make the difference between 10th place and 9th place, right? Or first place and not first place, right? So it's important to recognize that, but at the same time, understand that your fitness and skill within a discipline is more important than the transition time between those disciplines, especially as a newer athlete, as a newer triathlete. So how do we manage these transitions? Because in reality, while we want to be faster on race day, not being fast enough in training can be a real problem, because then you're late for the next thing that you want to do. And more often than not, when we have a really defined sense of what our workout is, if we know that our bike is going to take an hour or the run workout's going to take 15 minutes, then we can say that's an hour and 15 minutes. Hour bike, 15-minute run, right? Oh, we forgot that it takes 15 minutes between, and that when you're done with the run, you've actually got to go back to the bike and take care of a bunch of stuff to get ready. So it ends up becoming like an hour and a half, not an hour and 15. And if you only budget for an hour and 15, you're in trouble. So number one, always budget a little extra time. So if you got an hour workout, budget an hour 15. If you're doing an hour and a half workout, budget hour 45. I always give myself like a 15-minute buffer, because something is going to happen in there that I'm just not prepared for. I won't be able to, my tires, like low pressure. I forgot my food. My phone needs to charge. I didn't bring down my bike computer. My run shoes aren't ready, or I've got, I'm missing one sock, or this sock has a hole in it, or it's the wrong t-shirt. I picked out the one that's my wife's. It's the same shirt as my shirt, but it's her size and not my size. And you've got all this friction that exists inside those spaces. So just give yourself more time, take some of the pressure off. So you know that when you go down to start your workout at 7 a.m., that when you're done at 8, which is what you give yourself with your 15-minute buffer, you're going to be fine, because you're starting at the right time and you've got that buffer time built in. So just do yourself a favor, get that locked in. All right. So the next piece is understanding the workouts that do need to be together. And so as we get closer to the race inside Endurance Nation, we spend more time putting our race workouts together. So we'll do swim bikes if at all possible, and we'll do bike runs. Now, there are some cases where we still bike run even earlier in the season. And more often than not, that's simply because it's 2 workouts and a single shower. And that alone will save you a lot of time in your day, particularly those of you who really enjoy those like nice warm showers, or perhaps even freezing cold showers if that's your jam. And you just love standing there for 20, 30 minutes. You do that twice a day, you lost an hour of your day. It's crazy. So 2 workouts, 1 shower is really, really appealing. But there's still the time between the workouts. So how do we solve for that? How do we make sure that when we do uncover efficiencies by stacking workouts together, that we don't lose out? So number 1, don't force it. Don't try and make workouts work that don't work. If you want to do a swim bike brick, but the pool is 4 towns away and the only place you can really bike is near your house, you're setting yourself up for disaster, and you should probably let that only work out on the weekends, if at all, because you have the time to transition between those 2 places. During the week, it's going to be too much for you to do. Right. Number 2, understand like when the workout really has to be together versus when it doesn't. Again, the closer you get to your race, last 4 weeks, last 3 weeks, let's do those workouts together. Before the last 4 weeks, nice to have. Logistical choice. If it works for you, go for it. But you're not locked in that you absolutely have to do it. You'll be able to run. You're not going to forget how to run. Not going to forget how to ride if you don't swim, then ride. Right? There's some important lessons that you learn. We cover those in other podcasts about nutrition and exertion, RPE, understanding just how hard is when you come out of the swim, but you get on the bike, different than just getting on the bike and riding. So we do want some of those challenges baked in your training. And those will happen later in the season when you're more sort of ingrained in your training processes. You understand your effort, your race day effort, and you can start to dial those in accordingly towards the as your race gets more and more proximate as you get closer. Right. So when we think about it during the week, what else can we do? Like, what else can we do to make these things easier for you? So what I recommend most of all, and I do this for everybody, regardless of whether or not you're doing this transition piece, is you always have your workout clothes ready. You should always have like run clothes in a pile, bike clothes in a pile, run shoes, easy to access, swim workout bag, like by the door, or maybe even have an extra swim workout bag in your trunk, as long as there's enough freezing. I don't want frozen swim stuff from yesterday morning if you're up here in the New England area. But you have that stuff ready to go. So if you do decide to do that second workout, it's just getting this clothes together and then just doing it. You don't have to go find everything, right? Having your nutrition ready to go the night before, getting it all ready. So if you got a bike run workout in the morning or a swim bike or a swim run, whatever that combination may be, you have everything you need. It's already ready to go. So you don't have to worry, like go look for it, find it, pull it together, put it in a bag, manage all those issues. Like it's just there for you. So even if you're riding indoors, like I ride a lot of my time indoors, and you can do a bike and then a run brick, you can bring all of your run clothes downstairs with you to the basement or to wherever you work out. And after you get off the bike, close the door, quick switcheroo, and then go do your workout. It's all right there. All you have to do is you're just changing clothes. That's about as fast as it gets. Sometimes I'll even run in my bike shorts. I'll just take off the bibs and put a t-shirt on and run in that if I can, depending on the bib shorts that I have. That'll work, and that allows me to be even faster. Is it super comfortable? No, but does it work? Sure, it's done. And the bike chamois is not so bad on the run, right? For example, right? So get all the gear ready so you're ready to go. So you plan according to that. The last piece I'll tell you is that what a lot of people will do when they start doing these race-like workouts is they start thinking with a more of a race mindset. They complicate it. They want to use the special shoes that they have, or they want to run at a certain pace. They want to hit certain numbers. In the early days, it's just about the modality, just like the mindset, shifting from one discipline to another, shifting from one type of like focus, physical experience to another. That's a place where there's lots of optimization for you. And even just kind of organizing yourself accordingly is going to make you faster throughout all of your workouts. So it's a win, but it's not so much about the speed side. Again, as I've said before, when we get to the last 4 weeks into your race, then we start talking about speed. We start about optimizing transitions, and perhaps even spending some time on the weekends practicing, bike to run transitions, or, swim to bike without the swim part, but just, going into transition, set it up in your backyard, go through the transition thing, get on your bike, ride around the block, come back, get off the bike, transition to the run clothes, run around the block, get out of the run clothes, transition to the bike, get on the bike, etc. Do that a couple times. It'll be pretty fast. You'll learn pretty quickly what you can and can't do, and how smooth you can be. It doesn't take a lot to find inefficiencies in that system and pull it together. But the real inefficiencies, as I mentioned earlier, lie in everyday transitions. So really manage things accordingly. Inside Endurance Nation, we don't have more than 2 workouts on any 2 days during the week. Everything else is optional. And one day session days. And those usually are bikes and runs because they're easy to complete. And the runs can be as short as 2 miles. They don't have to be race duration, race pace, etc. If you're training for a half Ironman, you don't have to do an hour bike and then a 10-hour run, right? A 10-mile run, right off of it. It doesn't have to happen. Even just a small dose in these individual sessions that are stacked will allow you to do a lot better. If you're doing a session on its own, then sure, run longer. But when you're putting these workouts together, it's much more about managing the intensity, managing your fluidity, and keeping on track with your time. If you practice it now in training, you'll be even faster on race day. And just think, the only rush you have is to get to the finish line, not to get to the next meeting. All right. Best of luck to you with your workout and transitions. If you got questions, you can find us on social media. We're everywhere from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to TikTok. And you can ask us questions. We'll be sure to put them here on the podcast to get you answered. Otherwise, until next time, this is Coach Patrick signing off. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week and speed up, right? Get organized. You've got this. I'll take care. I'll see you.
For more information about Endurance Nation, visit us online at endurancenation.us. The provided music is from the Podshow Podsafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com.